What's up, Jackie? Hey, what's up, Jack? Throwing the man back out, that's right. You want to call in on that shit? I just posted something up about it. I gotta see what you're doing. What's up, family? This is the Congregation of the Mighty, where your hustle builds muscle. This is Gye-Nyame Journey Media. Alright, Anime, you sounded kind of tired. What the hell you been doing? You had the whole afternoon off? This is a Heart of a Simba production. Of course, you know we on that tribal quotes. Day 65, where we strive to blow up your old paradigms. Explosion. No, we've been doing this shit for 3 years. Y'all don't know when y'all supposed to come in? Good God Almighty, having mythic animals around is stressful. It's so stressful. So before we get into, well, first let me start off with the Proverbs, because we need to start with the Proverbs, read a little bit of news, and then I come back. I'm tired, so I'm on. You know, we're going to run through this. I'm going to get ready for tomorrow. We got it's testing time. It's testing season where we line up our kids and put them in front of these tests to see if they will pass a test. You know, we living in a testing culture. Some people say it's good. I personally think it's some bullshit. I do believe we do need to have some measures, but I'm not 100% sure and confident in the type of shit that we are testing our kids for, or even what we're educating them for at this point in time. So, Jackie wanted to talk about Mr. Smollett. I think what is his name? I ain't been following that shit. Hold on. So Jackie put up some comments, because I got something on the timeline about this. I hope your first topic, let me bring it up. I hope your first topic is on Jussie Smollett and his ability to outsmart white folks with their own game. And what is funny is the black man at the lead, ready to relentlessly track him down. So Stephen of him, laughing out loud. But that's not to say Jussie wasn't on some bullshit. Wish he would have been on something real and got him. Now I don't know. So Jackie might have to call in and update us on that. That is our consultant out of Maryland. She wrote a beautiful article last month that we put in the newsletter. I'm going to put that shit back into the newsletter this month because it's still relevant. A sign of good writing. But some other things in the news. Well, first let me read the Proverbs for the day so that y'all can think about them a little bit. Go on and marinate on them. Dig the well before you are thirsty. A Chinese proverb. Dig the well before you are thirsty. Chinese proverb. We are on day 65. We are coming from the Gye-Nyame Journey Workbook. Tribal quotes. All right. Number 2. A man's true wealth hereafter is the good that he does in this world to his fellows. That's from Muhammad. A man's true wealth hereafter is the good that he does to this world. A man's true wealth hereafter is the good that he does in this world to his fellows. Muhammad. Number 3. The child that is not crying has no need to be nursed. That's Haiti. Alright? From Africa, from our diaspora. Right? So, first little piece I got in the news today is lawyering while black. Maryland deputy accused attorney of being a suspect, complaint says. That's from the Washington Post. We got that up. I think I done used all my Washington Post free views up, so I won't even go there and be embarrassed right now. We have the economy is growing. Democrats want to know who's benefiting. Want everybody to know who's benefiting. And the question I ask are you benefiting with this growing economy? Are you benefiting? If you're benefiting, call in. Let us know how you are benefiting. Let's have this discussion. We need to know. I need to know some of my black folks, because I know some of us are balling and we are constantly talking about how good some of us are doing. I want those ones that are doing good to call in. Those that are benefiting from the economy, besides the little $20 per check that you probably getting because of the way they wrote the tax law, right? All right. Next in the news, marijuana banking bill approved by Congressional Committee. So marijuana may be hitting the national level, being able to bank, because one of the issues with the marijuana industry is that you can't put the money in the federal bank, in banks that have FDIC or whatever that is, because it's still considered illegal on a national level. So, but my thing is, we're still shut out. We're shut out that business, right? I mean, I don't have no records. So somebody with that bread, if y'all want to work together, let's go and work together. Just putting it out there. Commercial. Damn, this shit does make the water taste better. Hold on. Is somebody on? Sound like somebody waiting on the line. Okay, nope. All right, let's go back. Uh-oh. Absolutely. Okay, hold on. Sister Jackie is hitting it up. So she hit the first proverb, so I won't read that one. She said, well, I am going to read it. She said, absolutely, educate yourself, dig the well with education. Well, that's one of the shovels. You still need pickaxe. You know what I'm saying? You still need something to get through some of the shit that the shovel won't get through. Sometimes you got to loosen up the dirt, so when you're digging a well, you need more than just one tool. There's a bunch of tools that you need to use to dig the well. And we need to think about that when we are dealing with a lot of these political matters. Yes, he about to be on some real shit. They keep doubling up. I don't know. Lori and then get hemmed up. What the fuck? Right, we got a brother that is a lawyer. A brother that's a lawyer. And I'll go back, if y'all want to talk about that. I'm just throwing out some stuff that y'all might want to talk about. Some stuff that y'all might want to talk about. So, the marijuana banking bill approved by Congressional Committee. You know how committees go. But the piece is, once again, we blocked out, and I'm concerned about that. A major business that they have legalized that has ruined the lives of millions of us, right? We also have, from Fox News, Trump says DOJ FBI to review outrageous decision to drop charges in Jussie Smollett case. Sister Jackie hit that one, so we're going to come back. We're going to cover that. All right? We're going to read that, talk about it a little bit. See, I'm concerned because this is an outrage, a national black eye on justice. But then, of course, you know I brought it back. Those that know me, you know what I brought it back to. This is a national outrage to the country, but dodging the plight of ADOS is not. Come on now. Come on now.
This call is being recorded.
We have to be aware that these smoke screens are going up, and we can't allow them to block us from all the real shit that's going on. Now, we got the Gye-Nyame Journey Mall that's going to be popping up this week.
You have to be aware.
Hello?
Yeah, I'm here. Miss Navita is up, so we know she got some news. I want you to know that the G&J Mall. Turn that TV down, girl. We got the G&J Mall popping. Oh, she gonna hang up. Don't hang up, Navita. But thank you for calling in. We got the G&J Mall popping off this weekend, right? March 30th from 12 to 6 p.m. Come on out. The vendors are calling in like crazy. I done just registered maybe 3 of them just this evening. And we had people already paying because the deadline is coming up. Because if you register on the day of, family, it's going to be $40. I put up some Gye-Nyame Journey t-shirts. You know what I'm saying? You can see that Gye-Nyame that you see is our unique design that was put together for us by Brother Allende. My favorite is the black on black, and I will be walking out with that one, unless one of y'all are able to grab it before I do. Good luck. Good luck, family. I wish you the best. Let me see. You don't believe in this Christian religion? You bet not believing in being Democrat. I'm believing though that whole Democratic shit. What's up, Navita? You got something you want to say? Obviously.
Let me see. Don't believe in this Christian religion. You bet not believe it. Right? I'm believing all that. The whole Democratic shit. What's up, Navita? You got something you want to say? Let me see.
I can't hear you on the phone, though.
You can't hear me on the phone?
Hello?
Hold on.
Hello?
Don't hang up. I'm about to fix that right now. I'm going to fix that. You're a little bit behind, so hold on. I'm going to fix it. She about to hang up. Don't hang up. Disconnect me. Uh-oh, Lady J is up. Uh-oh, I got to get back up. Navita, stop hanging up. Just be patient. It takes me a second because y'all know we got all this stuff running through, so I got to get a separate computer just so that I...
This conference is being recorded by the organizer.
Peace, can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Okay, cool. So we got several things on the table that we can hit, and of course we're going to tie it all back in to the Proverbs, but let me finish my commercial.
Okay, I'm back.
All right, let me finish my commercial for the G&J Mall. Family, the only thing that's missing is you. We need you to come out and support. Come check out what the vendors have. Come and participate in some nation building, right? Some of y'all can't get out here and do some of the work that some of the other people are doing, but you can get out here and you can support. We need to get the dollar flowing back in our community. And as you see, I got some tight-ass Gye-Nyame symbol shirts that's going to be up for sale. We got some Daily Toaster shirts. I don't know if the ambrosia going to be ready. I don't bring out ambrosia before it's time. If the shit say it's not ready, I'm not bringing it out. I'm just being honest with y'all. Now, I have an article that I want to share with y'all. But go ahead, Sister Navita, Lady J, if y'all got something y'all want to share on the line, by all means do, because I got this article I definitely want to go through, because it's something I want people to understand about the struggle that we are involved with. But go ahead.
Well, you have the first proverb you mentioned. It reminded me of a Malcolm X quote, where it said, he said something like, "Education is our passport to the future, for tomorrow belongs to the people who prepare for it today." So that kind of reminded me of the first one you read about digging the well before you're thirsty, or
digging
something.
The well before you're thirsty. Preparing for something before before you need it.
Right.
Our elders.
So that just reminded me of the little Malcolm X piece.
Right. Speaking of Malcolm
But I wanted to
X,
share with you.
speaking of Malcolm X, we do have a festival coming up, don't we? Malcolm X
Yes,
Revolution.
we got the Malcolm X Festival coming up, March 25th. Be there. Or be in your underwear.
May 25th. May 25th.
Oh, I mean, May. Jesus, me and these M's. May 25th.
It's going to be
We
popping
got a superb lineup coming.
Oh, man. Hey, we just can't announce it right now. I just want to solidify, so I'm waiting. I'm waiting for the money to start flowing, and we are going to blow your mind with who's coming out. I'm just trying to let y'all know, so I need to get ready. So Sister Navita said that the first one reminded her of a Malcolm X quote, and she just wanted to share the Malcolm X quote. Sister Jackie also shared something on that. Now, I just want to share an article. I am knee deep in reading for the third time, maybe the fourth time, a book called Skin in the Game. And he has a concept that I tried to speak on, but I wanted to read this concept. I wanted to share this concept with y'all. But before I get into that, and then we get back into the Proverbs, Lady J, you on the line. Thank you for joining us. Do you have something that you want to share? Well, maybe Lady J is not on the line. Lady J, you on the line. What's up? Maybe she in a meeting. She can't. All right. So let's go back. So, where we at? Where's my article? My article disappeared. This is from, I guess it's a blog called Fractals of Change. Nothing great has ever been accomplished without irrational exuberance. Now, a lot of people is like, the reparation piece, you're never going to get it. You know, I mean, it's almost like we take a defeated idea before we even move forward. But in my readings, because I know sometimes, you know, some of y'all could be like, he's coming off negative. No, I'm not coming off negative. What I'm telling y'all is that the thing that I have to live by, I constantly talk this blackness. And one of the major pieces that we have in Gye-Nyame Journey, as well as a lot of other organizations, is Nguzo Saba and the Laws of Ma'at, as well as some of the other principles that come from our ancient African ancestors. And one of those is from not the Laws of Ma'at, but the I can't remember the name of it right now, but it talks about being able to distinguish the real from the unreal. And being 50, I could no longer play with fantasies with some of y'all. Some of y'all want to do this fantasy shit, and I'm not on it. So I try to give you the real so that you can move forward knowing the possibilities. I'm not into giving you bullshit, because if I take you to battle and I fed you some bullshit, when the real battle hits, you are going to flee. And what we need strong, steadfast warriors that are ready to do battle. I don't need motherfuckers caught up on illusions of grandeur and all this. So we have to break down illusions. You can't win if you're dealing with illusions and dreams. You got to be dealing with what's real, right? So the statistics that I'm showing you is a snapshot of what's going on for us in America. It might not be your truth, but it's enough people's truth that you have to take into account when we're talking about our people. And we can't allow people to continue to throw these outliers at us to kind of pull the wool over our eyes, to blind us from what's really going on. Because a lot of us out here are really suffering. And I'm talking about ADOS. I'm talking about black folks. A lot of us are really suffering and struggling. Right? So I found this article. And it's a commentary on an idea that Nassim Taleb puts forth. And it's a real good one. And I posted it up on the G&J timeline today, so you go and you can find it. It's called The Most Intolerant Wins. The Dominance of the Stubborn Minority. A lot of y'all like with this reparations, we need a majority. No. Please understand the power of a small group that are moving, as they say, on code. A small group that agrees. It's small groups that change the world. It's not large groups and large groups of people agreeing. It's a stubborn minority that changes the world. And I want y'all to understand that. So I want to make sure that I share this with you, because you can go on and get these books and you can start reading and start picking up this information. Everything we need is not just encased in books by black authors. Now I need y'all to understand that. You have to kind of extend your circle, right? It's great to go into the history, but you also need to also study information that's put out here by other people. Okay? So, The Most Intolerant Wins, the Dominance of Stubborn Minority. Once again, this is found on a site called Fractals of Change. If you don't know about fractals, family, fractals are cold-blooded. You need to check those out. This rule has been hidden in plain sight, but Talib drags it out in the open as the most important asymmetry affecting our daily lives and perhaps the future of civilization. The title of this post is a chapter here from his latest book, Skin in the Game, Hidden Asymmetries in Daily Life, from which many of the examples below are taken. We like to think that in our democracy, the majority rules. Usually that is not the case. Many airlines don't serve peanuts or any snacks which have touched a peanut because some people, a small minority, are greatly allergic to peanuts. The non-allergic can survive without peanuts. The allergic can't tolerate them. That's an asymmetry, and the intolerant minority rules. This particular outcome is beneficial on the whole. Similarly, when Catholics were allowed to eat meat on Fridays, the school lunches in my public school, in which Catholics were a minority, were always fish on Fridays. Didn't hurt the rest of us to eat fish once a week, except it was even more revolting than the other dishes on the school menu. But observing Catholics couldn't eat anything else. Minority rules because of asymmetry, but no big deal. Sometimes the minority veto can be beneficial, according to Talib. For reasons I won't go into here, he is against genetically modified foods, GMOs. He knows that he is part of a minority which benefits from an asymmetry. They won't eat GMOs, but the majority has an aversion to non-GMOs. Hence, the growing shelves of organic food in grocery stores, which crowd out the non-organic foods. I'm not all convinced. Well, that's his personal, so we won't go into that. But now things get more sinister. Talib, a Coptic Christian from Lebanon, says that Christians used to be a majority in Egypt, but there's an asymmetry. An asymmetry, when you look up the word symmetry, sim is sun, metri or metron, or however that Greek word is pronounced, was sun measurement. When you look at the sun, it's symmetrical. It's even on both sides. You look at it, it's symmetric. Right? It looks good. It's a nice little circle. Circles have symmetry. So the sun was the model of symmetry. So when things are balanced on both sides and everything works together and it looks good, boom, boom, that's symmetry. Asymmetry is when things are unbalanced. All right, so now we'll get back into that in a letter. First, under Islamic law, if a non-Muslim man marries a Muslim woman, he needs to convert to Islam. And if either parent of the child happens to be Muslim, the child will be Muslim. Second, becoming Muslim is irreversible, as apostasy, in this case converting away from Islam, is the heaviest crime under that religion, sanctioned by the penalty of death. Under these two Under these two asymmetric rules, one can do simple simulations and see how a small Islamic group occupying Christian Coptic Egypt can lead over the centuries to the Copts becoming a minority. All one needs is a small rate of interfaith marriages. Egypt's Copts suffered from an additional problem, the irreversibility of Islamic conversion. Many Copts during Islamic rule converted to the dominant religion when it was merely an administrative procedure, something that helps one land a job or handle a problem which requires Islamic jurisprudence. According to Talib, who is partial to the Shia Muslims, he grew up with in Beirut and fiercely opposed to Sunni Salafism and Saudi Arabia, which is the main sponsors. He cites this asymmetry. Jews and Muslim minorities like Shiites are counter if they are allowed to are content if they are allowed to follow their own laws. Salafis say everyone must follow their laws and feel they have an obligation to jihad against those who don't. Talib asks, should a society which has elected to be tolerant be intolerant about intolerance? He answers his own question. Yes, an intolerant minority can control and destroy democracy. Actually, it will eventually destroy our world. So we need to be more than intolerant with some intolerant minorities. It is not permissible to use American values or Western principles in treating intolerant Salafism, which denies other people's rights to have their own religion. The West is currently in a process of committing suicide. End quote. That's a quote from his book. Although I agree with Talib, the Shalifa extremism is an existential danger, given both the asymmetries he cites and their enormous funding and support for extremism from Saudi Arabia, and can even agree that we can't tie our hands behind our backs with our own rules while fighting back. I don't agree that we can deny free speech to anyone who denies free speech to us, nor withhold constitutional protections to anyone who disagrees with American values. Who would get to decide when someone who wants to change a law or even amend the Constitution is actually attacking our values or just trying to make our country better? Should the student radicals who shout down speakers they are afraid to listen to be denied free speech themselves? I don't think so. So much I wish they shut up. All right, let's go. I'm almost done. Talib makes valid and interesting points on how and why decisions in a democracy are often made by minorities and by asymmetries. He raises the crucial question of how we can fight. Now, I'm going to stop right there. I want y'all to understand the power of minorities in the system that we are in right now. A small group that are stubborn and stick to their guns can change or destroy the whole system. We have to understand this, right? Because when I was going through the book, there's a reason I got the book. But actually, I got the book because I read The Black Swan, and after The Black Swan, I read Anti-Fragile, and after Anti-Fragile, I said, well, shit, let me get skin in the game, because I like the whole concept of skin in the game, because I work around and deal with people who constantly have comments, who constantly want to run their mouth, but they don't have skin in the game. And then when I ran into this principle about that minority running shit, because the minority sticks to their guns, the minorities are on code, they are able to change the whole society around them. Now, family, those of us that are ADOS, I need y'all to understand this. We are a minority. The question is, do we have the will to stick it out? Do we have the will to create reality, right? And what is that? What do you mean, Brother Hatim? One of my teachers, Dr. Linda James Myers, quoted somebody else. I don't want to. She taught me a quote a long time ago. She told me who it was from. I couldn't remember, but she said, "Power is the ability to define reality and have other people respect that reality." Jewish people had their own reality. Korean people had their own reality, and other people respect that reality. It's time for us, as ADOS, to start creating our own reality and be steadfast in it, family. We don't have to, you know what I'm saying? We don't have to be dismayed because the numbers are not on our side. We are a stubborn minority that have a set of beliefs that we are going to demand be fulfilled. Well, everybody in this motherfucker going to be uncomfortable. We have another caller. Anybody got any comments before we move forward?
This is Shaka. What's up? Just thought I'd join in.
All right. Lady J, you awful quiet. You in the meeting? All right. Damn, this water tastes better coming out the cup. Family, this copper cup shit is not an illusion. I'm trying to tell you, this shit is good. I'm about to try some ambrosia out of that. So, let's get to the folk tales. Let's get to the quotes. And we're going to break down the quotes. And after that, family, I'm going to let you go. Let's see has how many people we got online. Boom. Let's kick it. See if I missed any comments, because I be running my mouth. Y'all know once I start running my mouth, it's kind of hard for me to stop running my mouth. Sister Jackie says, it takes a small group. Even God said that. It only takes a small group. Okay. And so I wanted to make sure that, because like part of the whole newsletter piece and stuff like that is to kind of cement us in our thinking. You understand what I'm saying? Because that's what the New York Times does. That's what the New Yorker does. That's what People Magazine does. You know what I'm saying? Because you get your opinions out there. You get your ideas out there. You get your theories out there. Right? And that's what the whole newsletter eventually going to grow into a news magazine is all about, family. Like I said, we just got to, we got to work on it and we got to build it. Jackie threw her stuff out there for me for my birthday. Brother Kwame turned his in. Brother Devin turned his in. I'm waiting for the rest of the family out there. Y'all know who you are, to get the shit in so that we going to have the next newsletter, because it will be coming out after this next market. And this time, to all the vendors, I'm going to get around to each one of y'all, and you will have your minute to shine. Not only on our Instagram, on our Facebook page, you will also have your minute to shine on our newsletter. I'm going to send that shit around. Like I said, and if you want to post up your stuff, your information on on our timeline on Gye-Nyame Journey through Facebook, I will download that with everything else, and I will keep your shit up. So if you got a business card or whatever, and you want that advertisement, and you one of the vendors, by all means, start posting it up. And family, please understand this. Like I said, a market is about the community having skin in the game. Please understand. Don't come and pay me $20 and expect me to be able to have radio promotions and shit like that, and have 3 million people up in the goddamn building. Right, family? This is a group effort. I got my skin in the game. I got my investment in the game. You need to have your skin in the game and your investment in the game so that we can grow. We can't grow as a people if we don't put our skin in the game. Brother Hatim, what do you mean about the skin in the game? Now check this out, because I want y'all to really listen to this shit close. Anyone that takes a risk, right, they can receive the reward. But anyone who takes a risk, but they are not included in the risk, should not receive a reward. That's skin in the game. Understand now, let me explain how this works in the real world. For those of you that's out here screaming about we need to invest, and we go through these these agencies or these people that guide us, if you have a financial person that is guiding you and they're guiding you towards certain investments, the first thing you need to ask them is, what's in your portfolio? Don't tell me what I should invest in. Motherfucker, what's in your portfolio? See, because this gives you skin in the game. Many of us are dealing with individuals who want to give us advice on our lives, We dealing with individuals that want to tell us how we should spend our money or what we should do as far as education. But when it comes to us looking at their track record, they have not done it. They have not invested their time or their efforts in that shit. What I try to do with you,
or their money.
So when we're talking about nation building, anybody that has comments about nation building, but you don't have no motherfucking skin in the game, in Gye-Nyame journey, you are told to shut the fuck up. Give a fuck how old you are. Skin in the game, family. Skin in the game. Right? So we'll do festivals and stuff, but then people got comments. Skin in the game. Family, you got skin in the game? I got all respect for you. What you want to do? I got individuals in my circle right now that would disagree with some shit, and I'll pull out from that shit. Why? Because those individuals have skin in the game. They have bled for this shit. They're bleeding for this shit. I ask them to do something, they do it. I'm cool with it. Alright? You got skin in the game. But then there's other people who want to comment, and we got to stop allowing this shit to happen to us as a community. Motherfuckers that don't have skin in the game, can't prove that they got skin in the game, need to shut the fuck up and not have no say-so in any of our meetings or any of our planning. I'm being all the way real with you, family, because a lot of us confuse scholarship, and listen, scholarship with reality. Now, those of us who have went to college and those of us who have exercised some of that shit realize that when you take scholarship and you try to put the rubber on the road of reality, oftentimes shit that you learned in those institutions wasn't real. I see it every year with new teachers coming out. They come to our school and they run into my family. Oh my God. I got teacher killers up in my motherfucking... Listen, y'all know, because some of y'all children are teacher killers. You know what I'm saying? You come with the academic shit, not the real life shit. You don't got skin in the game. My children will chase you away. Some comments? Questions?
Well, I wanted to comment about, just like you said, the skin in the game piece. You know, as a business owner, if you are a true entrepreneur, that means you have skin in the game. And sometimes I question the entrepreneurship of these entrepreneurs because they don't want to put no skin in the game sometimes. They want you to do all the work and they want to just show up. When it's a business, you work your business. You promote your business. Even if you pay $20 or you pay $250, you should always be promoting your business. So if you are a vendor, you know, just like you said, we may only charge $20. That gives you a space because this is an opportunity for you to have a brick and mortar, so to speak, without paying a brick and mortar price. And now all you got, now your money is free and your time to promote your business and get out there and tell people where you want to be. So if you are, because the G&J Mall is called the G&J Community Mall. So this is a community effort. It's just not the members of the planning committee's effort. This is a community effort. And we succeed based on what the community is out there doing. So if you don't promote and you don't get people out there along with us, you know, we won't be successful. This has to be a community effort.
Community. You can't, and think
because,
about
like you said, if you ain't got no skin in the game, you ain't got nothing to lose.
You ain't got nothing
so,
right.
You ain't got nothing to lose, so you don't put no effort. So I ain't got nothing to lose.
Right. You could tell people that you could tell people that have skin in the game because they hustle. You understand? Because they have no choice. I gotta get this back. I put this money out. I gotta get this money back. I put this time in. You know what I'm saying? I have to push it to the end. And this is what we need, family. Whether we're talking about this reparations thing, whether we talk about nation building, whether we're talking about black empowerment, it requires us to put skin in the game, which means that, boom, this is my sacrifice. One of the major issues, one of my favorite chapters in the African Openings to the Tree of Life, I got it over here somewhere, in the African Openings to the Tree of Life is the discussion about sacrifice. When you go to ancient Kemet, they talk about sacrifice. If you go to the ancient Kush Empire, they talk about sacrifice. You go to Ghana and Mali, they talk about sacrifice. You come to America, they talk about sacrifice. You can't have a community, you can't have a nation if you don't have individuals sacrificing for that group. And we expect to build a nation. We expect to get reparations. We expect to get all this shit. But yet, there's a lack of sacrifice for many. Now, but this is the caveat. For those of you that do have skin in the game, I see you and I love you and I appreciate you. And I'm going to support you in any way I can.
I thought I would just comment on something. And what it is that I see how a lot of times when people who actually do believe in what's going on, we are making our contributions independently, and because they're happening. Hello?
I'm listening. I'm just enjoying this fermented tea. Shit, this shit is good. I don't know if it's a cup with
and so what happens like that is like it sounds like an applaud. If you can imagine a contribution being a hands coming together every single time, it's like an applaud. It's steady. It's but it's not all at the same time, and that's the difference between like when the soul clap together, then you hear the impact. You understand because it's a crescendo. And I'm saying that a lot of times, even when we are a little bit down on the numbers and it don't look like we got the support that we needed, sometimes when we get that smaller crescendo, we have to applaud it because it is just it's that crescendo happening in its infancy. So I see it, I feel it, and it's what keeps me on the journey and keep contributing, the little pieces, the little components that I have into the mix until we, until we get some seasoning on the experience,
Right. Keep on moving because, like I said, it don't take a lot. And like I said, man, we got the vendors are growing, but I'm not. And I want to be specific. I'm not just talking about the G&J Mall. I'm talking to those family members that are doing real organizing. What mechanisms do you have in your organizations where people are able to apply and put skin in the game? Not talk. Skin.
Right. Not talk, but some real skin in the game.
Some real skin.
Hey, let me ask you something, and this is a real question. Why do we hold out the 7th Harambe?
7 is the universal number of study, rest, and perfection. That's the only reason I know. You know what I'm saying? 7, a lot of people love that number 7. But 7 is about studying, being able to look into the past so that you will have a better ability to predict the future. Rest, being able to get the rest that we need as a group and community so that we could be strong when it comes time to battle. And it moves, 7 represents moving towards your perfected state or constantly striving because, we know that there's no single perfection state. You know what I'm saying? All of us are perfect where we are now, but we know that we have to prepare for the future step to perfection. So the symbolism of 7 is very important with us. And then
also, why hold it out? Why hold it out?
Why hold the last one?
what does holding is out?
Holding.
I get that's why we do 7.
But why hold
why
the last
do we
one?
hold that last one?
That last Harambe is, in a sense, us totally committing ourselves to it. I mean, because you really can't yell if you're not committed. That's why, some people don't understand when Elder Tony be holding it and be messing with people because he hold it, because you got to be totally committed. You got to be all in on that last Harambe, because that last one, it was like, ready, get set, go. You know what I'm saying? So we are demonstrating commitment, or we are throwing a symbolic idea of commitment and being all in. And if you do it right, you have to stop, because you done put your all into that.
Once you giving your all, the person next to you might have a little more to give.
So that's but what's wrong with that? See, my
that's
issue,
that's
exactly. I mean, that's perfect, because some of us only gonna make it a certain level, to a certain place in this journey, and hopefully there will be somebody that can hold it longer than you and continue moving on. Because when it's your time to stop, it's your time to stop. Then somebody else can carry it on. But go ahead.
Now, let me say something, because I sometimes on the 7th Harambe, I experience a phenomena. Sometimes on the 7th Harambe, if I'm leading a unity circle, there's certain things that I feel is very important for people to understand when participating and contributing. So by the time we get to the 7th Harambe, and we use all our might, and we use all that, and the babies are saying Harambe with us, and they holding their voices out, I hear voices of those who are not there.
Ooh.
And
wait, hold on. Hold on. Let me tell you something that happened to me. This was years ago, maybe about 20 years ago, in one of our camps. The elders took us up into the woods. I ain't gonna say who it all was, but it was the members of the Underground Railroad. We went up into the woods, and we was, because we was out, and we did libations, and then we did the 7 Harambes. And on the 7th Harambe, as we was holding it, I started hearing the goddamn radio stations in that area come through the vibration that we were setting. So, I mean, you're not alone, and it gives you an opportunity. Because, see, understand this, family. We only experience God when we push ourselves to our limits. That 7th Harambe is your opportunity in that moment to push yourself to the limit, and you never know what's going to be waiting for you on the other side of that.
Wow.
And something else that you had mentioned, Hot Tim, was about the voice of the minority or the smaller group. And 2 things came to mind for me. One was South Africa. When we know that the majority of people in South Africa are black, but it's ran by a small minority of white.
A stubborn, small minority. It ain't because we are minority in a sense here in America. But what separates us from other groups is because we have not really self-identified. We haven't.
Right.
We don't have the ability to really be stubborn. Some of us are, but as a group, we have not been a stubborn minority.
So they became together in their minority.
Right.
And they make enough impact that they ruled the whole, all of South Africa.
Yeah,
and
not just South Africa.
On another side, I think people in wheelchairs or handicapped are a minority of people in this country. But if you go to Target or whatever, the first 6,000 parking spaces
for them
are handicapped.
Right. And and because oftentimes what the majority will do, because having those parking spots there does not, in a sense, encroach necessarily on the rights of those that are not handicapped. But it's easier to serve that minority, because that by serving that minority, you don't really take nothing away from those in the majority. And that's what we got to understand. It's being stubborn, fixing it, because we're old enough. Some of us in this car are old enough to remember when there was no handicapped parking spaces. When there was no goddamn handicapped bathrooms. Nigga, you had to do the best you could when you went out. But they became a stubborn minority and they pushed their shit through. Think about the whole peanut thing. I'm old enough to remember when I used to get on airplanes. The first snack that they gave you before they came through was a pack of motherfucking peanuts. Now I dare you to fire a pack of peanuts on the goddamn airplane, because the person that are allergic to it are illy affected. So it's just easier. Understand this? It's easier for the majority not to eat peanuts, so that minority can be safe on that plane. And us as ADOS, if we are a stubborn minority, it'll be easier for people to meet our interests than for them not to meet our interests. Because that's where it's getting to. So, but let's hit these proverbs, man. I love my family. We on day 65. Support the journey. You're going to get the book. Like I said, because we got the Malcolm X Festival, so y'all going to be getting text about that real soon. So family, please start pulling those dollars together to help support, because
put some skin in the game.
Put some skin in the game, goddammit. Because listen, we going to have us even though they killed my little dream of having a bouncy house. It was assassinated, y'all, right in front of my face.
What was assassinated?
I wanted to have a bouncy house.
Those things are dangerous, yo.
But
yeah, I know. I don't hear it.
The bouncy house, a bouncy house. They murdered the bouncy house.
Man, let me tell you.
You wanted to have a bouncy house at the Malcolm X Festival, and it was ruled out.
So what I will say about it is that when you got kids and you're dealing with those bouncy houses, two major things, and I don't know if this was part of the reason why, but two of the major reasons why I would say no is A, ringworm, and B, man, have you ever seen those shits fly away in the wind with kids in it?
Oh, I love that. I love that shit. Enjoy the ride. We're gonna get you. Just part of the experience. Tell your friends, come back next year.
I agree. Some of those things have liability, because I was at.
We insured up to $1 million, family. I'm just telling you.
Yeah, so I was at a school function, and it might be your school. I'm just gonna say that. They had a field day. They had basketball. There was no basketball with climbing to run, and you got to climb in, so the hole is still there. And I'm just gonna say, I fell out the ball. They said it's awesome racist. I can race them. I beat the brake off the little boy, and I'm all the way. I done made it to the finish line. I'm on my way back. I done made it to the end. I'm on my way back to the finish line. He ain't even made it to the end yet. The turnaround. And I done fell out the ball, and I broke my toe. Severed. And so my toe, because the ligaments were severed, my toe would never be the same. So I agree, you got to be careful. And when that happened to me, I discovered that there was several other people. I doubt those things.
Y'all killing me with y'all stories of woe about a bouncy house. Y'all killing me. I really
I got rug burn from slipping on the inside on the Velcro.
What the
oh
hell
my goodness,
was?
if you ever Velcro the wrong side
First off,
of your knee.
First off, what you two grown motherfuckers doing in the bouncy house anyway? Stop.
I was in the Velcro wall. Okay?
I was in the hamster ball.
So what your story had to do with it if it wasn't a bouncy house? You just telling stories
I
now.
just was telling you to be a liability.
You know, I know. Navita called you and said, "I need your support systems," and no, because Navita was the head assassin and killed my shit. I want a bouncy house. I want the big slide. Kid fall off, we insured, and I'm gonna cuss the parents out because your child shouldn't have been. It's a slide. You climb up, you slide down. You ain't supposed to be doing the monkey bar stuff up there. Teach our kids discipline. You fall off.
That might be safer than a damn bouncy house climbing inside.
What? No. But it's still a bounce. It's like it's a big. You've seen the slide that we be having sometime. But I'm gonna leave it alone. I'm not gonna do that.
Hey,
I'm gonna dig the well before I'm thirsty. But go ahead.
Can I give an update on Black Phoenix News?
Go ahead.
With the artist. All right. So first of all, after many years, I have finally dropped my freshman project, which is kind of on the Herbie Hancock tip in the sense that it's just straight up music. All right. It's called Beats of the Symbiotic Cipher. It is on Spotify. It's on iTunes. It's on Deezer. If you Google or YouTube Baba Shaka with 2 Ks, then you will find all the tracks. Even on YouTube, you can pull the tracks from YouTube, use it on your show, use it on your media. I don't care. SoundScan does it all to make sure that everybody get paid when they're supposed to. It ain't no problem using none of my music now. So we got that out there. Further, I saw Navita was had spoke on Mark Lomax and Eddie Bayard. Eddie, which used to be my roommate, you remember when we were Soul Star, had recently transitioned back to Harrisburg, PA, to be closer to his daughter. But what I'm in the midst of doing is working on, Hashim, we need to utilize your superpower. We need to utilize your superpower and really, I'm just looking
creating
for
space and time?
Huh?
You talking about creating space and time?
Yeah, primarily space. If I had a space down in Columbus that I can, I don't care if it's just the gutter of the road, whatever. If it's a deed I can put my name and fix it up, then that's what I want to deal with. Right here in Cleveland, it's easy to go out there with $5,000 and pick a little hubble from the worst side of town. I don't know what that side of town is these days in Columbus, but if it's a measure that allows me and the traveling artist to be able to, have a place to situate our hat when we in town, then by all means, that's what I'm working on right now.
That's interesting.
So that's
yeah. We're gonna talk. I just thought about something.
Okay.
But so here we go, family. Dig the well before you are thirsty. Chinese proverb. That's number 1. A man's true wealth hereafter is the good that he does in this world to his fellows. That's from Muhammad. And the last one, the child that is not crying has no need to be nursed. That's from Haiti. So Sister Navita, since you was the first one to call in, and I wasn't able to get to you right away because you couldn't hear me, could you please pick between 1 and 3? I'm going to.
Let's do number. Because I talked about number. Let's do number 3. Read that one more time, and we can do number 3.
You always trying to make me look bad, man. I was about to predict the number. I said number 1. All right, cool. Number 3. All right, I got you. All right. Reading minds is not one of my superpowers. The child that is not crying has no need to be nursed. Once again, the child that is not crying has no need to be nursed. Lady J, you on the line. It's on you. So what you gonna do?
Ironically, I can remember the last time we were on this exact topic. and I could about recall the conversation.
Was I drinking?
I guess that's
Was that the night I was
were you
drinking?
drinking that day?
I don't know, because one time I drunk and got totally inappropriate with you and you ain't called back in for 3 months.
I don't even know why we're reliving that story, but okay.
I mean, because I want people they got to go back through the stacks and see how far we have come as Gye-Nyame Journey, because I did that I did one of those shows live from my sister's house. And my sister always provide her brother with plenty of alcohol, and I said I won't drink and do a show like this again, boy, because it got bad. But go ahead.
Yeah, I don't know why we just brought that back up, but this is 2019, and if I'm not mistaken, I graduated 2013. I started working and met you in 2014. So that's about how long I've been listening to your show, 2015, something like that. Anyways, the child that is not crying has no need to be nursed. I think that it's speaking to a number of things. One being pacifying our kids and not giving them an opportunity. Like they say, that life, living provides lessons. And sometimes if we don't provide an opportunity for them, for our kids or for people to live, they don't get the lesson. And so I think that that's one piece. And then the other piece it reminds me of is this for some reason, this sense of entitlement. I don't want to say that crying is like working, but, you know, I feel like when I was coming up, there was this idea that don't work, don't eat, or a sense that one action begets another. And sometimes, again, when we just steady giving without waiting on that opportunity when it's needed, we spoil the child. And I tell you one, I used to, this idea of spoiling children. We used to think that was like something good. And I remember one day my daddy told me, he says, well, what do you... It might not have been my daddy. It might have been you. I tell him, I might be lying. But like, what is it that we consume that is spoiled? Like, normally if something spoils, we throw it out, right? So we got spoiled milk. Well, not I tell him, because you're going to use it to ferment or make something.
Goddamn right.
I'm just saying, typically, we would throw it out once it's rotten, once it's spoiled. But for some reason, we got this idea, oh, she's spoiled, or I bet she spoiled your child. Like, I hear that so often. And now, back in the day, I had a different view of it. Now I'm like, but shit, who likes anything spoiled? What do we do with spoiled things? We throw it out.
Go to bed, Gina.
Right. And so that's what that proverb reminds me of.
Well, I think when I hear the proverb, I think about the times we do for our children without letting them, do for themselves. Kind of like Lady J was speaking on, because sometimes we'll step in when they didn't even ask for us to step in. And they don't get to experience the learning experience that needs to come from that, because we took care of it before it even occurred. So, like you have your children who maybe there's something going on at the school, and you think that something may go wrong, so you're going to go up there and handle all of that stuff, and you didn't even let them handle it on their own. They wasn't crying about it. They was okay, but you went up there and handled it and prevented them from learning that lesson. Because when you do, that's what happens when you do that. When they're crying, they ain't crying, let them solve it themselves. But when you step in, you have prevented the person from learning the lesson.
And in turn,
I want to throw this out there real quick. I remember when Melvin, I had late speech development, and when Melvin was little, when my son was little, he didn't speak, and I just knew that he had the same. I thought it was going to be the same thing that I had growing up, and I thought he was going to need like therapist, things like this. So this woman, he had a lot of issues. So this was the weirdest child I've had by far. But anyway, the lady comes, and what we found out is that he didn't have to speak because when he mumbled, my son did for him. You know what I'm saying? So the first thing that I remember telling me, like, there's nothing wrong with him. What's wrong with him is that he has an older brother, and his older brother speaks for him. So he don't have to. The other thing it makes me think of, a couple of years ago, Melvin left the city league and he went to play football at his school. So I remember talking to his coach, and I'm like bragging on my son, of course, and say, my son is a quarterback, this, that. So I go through the first couple games, and my son, and I noticed they don't even put him in on offense. And so I tell him when we get in the car, I say, I'm going to say something, blah, 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 blah. He said, push me off. And so he would tell me, push him off the nipple, like, he a big boy now, push him off the nipple. So I didn't say anything. Well, long story short, something happened. It did. They just happened to have to put him in, and he took the position. He's been, he's been the quarterback ever since. But I was so ready to go speak to the boy coach, and he had to tell me when I would pick him up, he would say, roll up the window, because he didn't want nobody to hear the things I was saying. But he had to convince me to not say anything. And had I, it would just took, I think, I'm raising a young man, right? And so some things, some things are different for boys than they are for girls. I believe that. And a lot of times with our boys, I hate to say it, it's in the right capacity, but allowing them to experience some things, on their own.
On their own, because a lot of times we don't. I've been guilty of it. And then when they get a certain age, we push them out there.
And they're not ready.
And then we don't want to hear them cry no more. Cause now they're going to start crying. And we like, you grown now. But we never let them experience anything before then. So we have a lot of unprepared young men out there that we push out. Because we didn't even let them cry. We was going to take care of that before that even happened.
What's the last word?
Everybody gets a trophy at the damn game.
Fuck that.
There's no losers at the game. And
fuck that. I'm not with that. I'm not with none of that shit. Now, because I'm like this.
What's the last word of the proverb? Spoiled?
No.
Nursed. The child that is not crying has no need to be nursed.
A child that's not crying does not need to be nursed.
You don't coddle your children.
Right.
Pretty much.
Because Lady J just went straight into the idea of being spoiled. I was taught a long time ago. My senior advisor, she had made a statement that because her daughter, who was in my class, she was a local celebrity. She was on Hickory Hideout. I don't know if y'all forgot that where y'all was at.
Nah.
But
he said Hickory Hideout.
True story. My Camille Harvey was my classmate. She was a little black girl on Hickory Hideout. And so thing is that, we always felt like she treated her different. Number one, because she's her daughter, and number two, because she's got this entitlement like she's the union. She's a union actor since she was 5. So, she's been in the biz. Anyways, she broke it down. She said it to us. She said, listen, a spoiled child is not a child that gets everything that they want, but knows how to deal with life when they don't.
What? Say that again.
Say that again?
No, I said say that again. You what?
Okay, so I might have said it wrong. But she said, A child isn't spoiled because they get everything that they want. A child is spoiled when they don't know how to act when they don't.
I agree.
Okay, yeah, that's good. That's good. That's a good one. That you correct that one because you mangled that the first time. I'm just gonna let you know. You going down in history.
Okay. I said the contrary. I kind of feel like I said the opposite the first time. Yeah. So, and further, just a more recent recollection. I mean, as a parent myself, I had to remember that my son at 8 years old, of course, I raised him to be able to express himself freely, to express himself honestly, and at the same time, sometimes he expresses things that I'm not ready for. You know what I mean? And on this particular occasion, my son, when I tell him to do things, he'll say, all right, because he knows that's what I want him to do. But then he'll be out of sight, out of mind, doing something totally different. And it'll jam up our day. Right? So last week I got so upset. I said, man, look, we got to change things. Now, if you're going to be a part of this house, I need for you to do right. All right? Because right now you're clearly doing wrong, and you have no, what's the word, remorse for what you're doing. It's not like he's doing anything bad. He's just not doing what I instructed him to do. So right now I'm saying, okay, well, so because you didn't do the right thing, now either A, you got to leave the house, or I got to give you a spanking. And he knew it was real because I don't spank my child. He knew it was real. And he said that, and he got worked up. And because he knew I was disappointed. And that's the thing that really hurt him is that, I got disappointed enough to give him that ultimatum. You do the right thing, and that means that you got to suffer the consequences, or you go. He said, he said to me, he said, Dad, I need to leave these choices.
He what?
I need to leave these choices. He was in tears. He said, Dad, I need to leave these choices. I need another option. Right? So, I mean, all that just to say that, going back to the proverb, my child is not spoiled. He gets to do what he wants a lot of the time, and I protect him from anybody that imposes on that, right? But as a parent, I'm at the place where it's like I have to allow him to suffer the consequences for the things that he does, and not nurse or coddle or, you know what I mean? If he's not injured, he can still stay in the game. That's another thing. If he's hurt, he can get up and play again. If he's injured, that's when we got to take him out of the game. But the piece is that as a father, as a parent, sometimes with young boys, we have to, it's a very fine line between, is he hurt or injured? All right, he can get up. It's a what do you call it? It's a learning moment.
Mm.
Let me ask you something, Shaka.
Mm.
You didn't provide any specifics, but you tell your son, you give the son a task. That's what I hear you saying, right?
Right.
He doesn't do the task.
Mm-hmm.
He's preoccupied. What is
right?
What do you ask him why?
Yeah.
Why is the hardest question to answer, especially for a young person. But go ahead.
And for him
to say, I want to give this example real quick. I had my son when I was very young, which caused me to go. They would send me to the parenting classes, and that's when I first discovered the white people parent their kids different than black people, right? And so I would be in these classes and I would listen and I would think that, I hear what they're saying, but I'm going to parent my child the way that my mother parents me, right? And so at some point it wasn't working. And so I started using some of these people's tactics. Well, one day, I remember I used to tell my son to wash the dishes. And I wanted him to wash the dishes in the order that I wash the dishes, right? And I always wash my silverware first. But for some reason, my son wouldn't wash the silverware first. And I was constantly bitching at him about this. And then he was older than your son, though. So one day he said to me, Mom, I'm the one washing the dishes. Right? It wasn't like it was the glasses that he was washing last, because then the glasses would have been nasty.
Right.
You know, but after I thought about it, I said, well, what difference does it make? It's silverware. You know what I'm saying? Why did anyone make me wash the silverware first? Why am I making him wash the silverware first? And so I had to think about, you know, I had to ask, and once he said that, I kind of had to look at myself like, you know what? I'm causing a big stink about some shit that really wasn't no big stink. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
He's complying, right?
Yeah.
He's just doing it his own way. And so, you know, a lot of times I feel like we miss, you know, even with my youngest son, I tend to have to do the same thing. But I feel like we give these, you know, we give these tasks, but then you know, we just don't take the time to get their feedback. You know what I'm saying? And it makes
feedback.
It makes
it's always enlightening. It's always enlightening when we listen to them and we realize that this is a little person here. Like, you know, they're not telling me something because this is what I want to hear. They, you know, my son is telling me straight up, this is what's going through his mind. Like, when I asked him, why didn't you do this? Like what you were saying. First of all, and so that you understand the depth of the conflict that we had last week, I just came home from getting my foot x-rayed because a few weeks ago I slipped on some ice and it never really healed back right. You know what I mean? So, you know, I would tell my son, like, we got to keep these floors clear. I don't want no toys nowhere except for the second floor, and definitely keep them off the steps, because if Daddy falls, like, yo, this is my driving foot. We ain't going to go Uber. We ain't making no money. So he understands, like, you know, the detriment of just having a house that is untidy. All right. The other morning, last week, I'm coming down the steps and I slip on some of those goggles that you play the video games in on the landing of the steps, off of the same foot, re-injured my foot again. So not only was I upset that there were toys, I was actually hurt again at the same time. So he was really excited because it's like, oh man, Daddy's hurt and it's my fault. All right, so that was where that conflict was, and that's where he was asking me, Dad, can I please have another choice? And there was one more thing that I wanted to say.
Y'all so nice.
Y'all so nice.
Oh man, it was.
He's 8 now.
Yes.
Yeah. So speaking of that, my son, when I asked him why don't you, or what were you doing that you didn't do the right thing? All right. So when I ask him to do something, like if I say,
that's
an
unfair question. I'm gonna say that. That's an unfair question.
Put your socks and shoes on. Put your socks and shoes on. We about to go and take care of business. Okay. 15 minutes later, he ain't got his socks and shoes on.
Shoes. I do that every morning. I go ballistic. I'm like, God damn, I don't believe it. Every morning, man.
Why don't you have your socks and shoes on?
I know this isn't the focus of the show, but I got a suggestion.
You got a what?
I said, I know this isn't the focus of the show, but I do have a suggestion.
A suggestion?
Okay.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
For who?
Because my son is telling me, my son is telling me straight up, like, I was in the middle of something else, and I wanted to finish that, and he take his own time. He has no state of urgency, but go ahead.
Y'all so nice.
So what I was going to, whatever. So what I was going to say is, what if you told your son, you're there, right? Mm-hmm. You're in a space. You tell your son not go get your shoes on, but go get your shoes and come back and put your shoes on in front of him. You know what I mean? I feel like sometimes I used to tell my son this. My oldest son, he's 10 years older than my younger children. And so the task
of keeping, I worked and I went to school, so the tax of the home, the chores was on him. Now, I didn't give a damn who did the chores. I just wanted them done. So you can delegate these tasks. And so he started doing that. But then he would not supervise. He would not go behind and make sure it was done. So I would come home and I would say, well, my chores not done. And he would say, well, I told Melvin. I said, well, that wasn't good enough. You tell Melvin to go back to make sure it's done. And think that way you know it's done. You can't just tell him and expect that it's going to be done. But this is just my piece. And this is something that I've learned that helps me. And Hatim is going to say, I'm being nice again. But I remember my son went through 7 days, guys, where he was on his way to the county. He was going to be locked up. He had stole my credit card, spent like $200-300 on roadblocks.
Stop.
He stole some fake money from one of the teachers, had to go to the printer room. The copier was making fake money. He had started a whole, and then he got suspended, and then he was playing with fire in my home. And so all of these things were happening.
You ain't telling me about that third one. You ain't telling me about that third one. Those two.
I did tell you about the third one because when he got in trouble again at school, I told you why he could he could not stay home. I told you why he was not, what was going to happen if he would have got suspended. I was going to stay home because the dude didn't know how to be home alone. That's why I think he ended up whooping him one time. But all that to say, at some point I said,
why you just snitch on everybody? Stop.
Some point I set him down. And our conversation was, what can I do differently to help? So I think it's just the same thing in teaching, the same thing in parenting. You know, a lot of times we will look at the child and say what the child's not doing, but sometimes it's because we need to do something different. It goes back to the proverb. We will give, just like Sister Navita was saying. We won't give these kids an opportunity to learn through mistakes. We won't give them an opportunity to develop a growth mindset because we're constantly coddling them. But then when shit is bad, we'll be looking at them like, damn, you done fucked up, but we don't even look at ourselves and say, what did I do, or what could I have done different to change that? You know what I'm saying? What did I do to that behavior? What did I do that allowed that to manifest? You know what I'm saying? So sometimes it's not about expecting the kids to do something different, but it's about tweaking what we do to ensure that we get the outcome that we want. And like I said, it just goes back to the proverb. I feel like so many parents, I just feel like so many parents do this, especially in a school setting. Something happens at school, and before you will call me and ask me what happened, you're ready to tell us the school advice. You know what I'm saying?
Parenting is like golfing. Parenting is like golfing. You have to monitor and make sure you have the right club, and you have to also make sure that you're not hitting the ball too hard or too soft. But you have to hit the ball. Y'all just encourage abuse all over the nation. I just want y'all to know. Y'all fell right for the trap.
Hey, let me say something to you.
I thought that was not. I wasn't taking that.
No, I think that's dope. I think everything, and thank you, Lady J, because you giving me some fresh perspective, and I think that as tribe, that's what we, at the very least, what we should offer each other. Okay, because the thing is that it's easy to talk about this in a very general sense, and Hatem, you've known me as a foster parent, you've known me as working with those OYAP boys. And I'm a whole different kind of individual than I am with my own son. Right? And it's because the circumstances are different, not because he's my son. It's because the circumstances are different. My son does not have a maternal figure in his life. So after that whole ordeal, I let him go spend some time by himself, and he upstairs, he took a nap, and I knew that his heart was hurt from that situation, because when he was even in his sleep, he was still like, you know how when you was a kid and you go.
But that's not your fault that you clumsy. That's not his fault.
No, you're right.
He
You're
is
right.
clumsy. He clumsy as hell. He could have slipped on them goggles and killed himself. That's what he's mad about.
Oh,
This nigga clumsy. Listen.
Hey, true story. One day I woke up. I would just check on my kids, right? And I was sneaky because I knew once they see me, I worked third shift. I knew once they see me, they would be asking, Mom, 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 Mom. So they were so quiet. I crept up the steps. Everybody was playing the game. Everything was chill. So I called myself sneaking back down the steps. And I fell down the steps and broke my tailbone. And so, so I thought, my kids will tell you a million stories about stuff I done did when I blamed them.
All right, hold on, family. Hold
I
on.
put them in my hoodie. I'm going to blame my kids.
Hold on, fam. Listen, we ain't gonna be able to make it to the rest of the Proverbs. We had a wonderful show. We didn't fall out. We gave some parenting advice. We will be coming out with an ebook. Parenting is like golfing. We're gonna have to end the show tonight because I am getting sleepy, and y'all know we all got. Well, I got something to do in the morning, and it's testing. And I don't know if y'all testing over at your school, Lady J, but I want to make sure that I'm able to give the teacher.
Y'all testing on Good Friday?
Tomorrow ain't no damn
Good Friday yet.
It ain't Good Friday.
No, we got a couple weeks.
He hit his
Well,
head.
Tim, is there a way that I can write you a check to have somebody take a test for one of my relatives at the school so I can do it the good old boy's way?
If it's the one I'm thinking about, he's straight on it. He's gonna be straight on that test.
Oh, okay.
I mean, his problem is not mental. His problem is just the behavioral piece. Other than that, he get all the stuff, and he's not shy to try. And you know what I'm saying. It's just too bad that we base this whole educational issue on these young people.
What grade is he, Novita?
Fourth grade.
I don't know what grade he's in. What grade is he in?
Fourth grade. We're training our children to avoid failure. You know what I'm saying?
And I'm real quick. I had a cheerleader last year, right? So I had a cheerleader. She did return. Her mom said she couldn't return unless she passed the third grade proficiency test, right? So I told her mom I would tutor her, knowing the hell I didn't have time to tutor her, right? I go to the house site 3 times. You know what I did? I put her on Moby Mac. But the other piece that I did was I kept telling her that she could pass the test. I knew she could because I coached her. I know how bright she is, right? And so, long story short, she took the test over the summer. She smashed the test, killed the test, knocked it out the park. But I had to tell her mom, one thing that I know for a fact, I've seen it in every school that I worked at, is that we teachers create anxiety. People create anxiety because they feel like their jobs are determined by stuff. So instead of convincing these kids that they have what it takes, instead of arming these children with strategy, they try to keep to the test, and then they tell the kids everything that's going to happen if they fail. And it behooves us. It's counterproductive to our progression. What we need is to high-five our kids and convince them that they've already passed the test when they walk in that room, right? It alleviates some of that anxiety. Because I feel like that's what happens. These tests they test strategic thinking, which means every little black child is awesome on the test because we are innovative. We can't think outside the box. They do figure you can give a kid, that fourth grader, you can give him an iPhone and he'll figure that out in 2 minutes. So we hold their top fathers, right? They give you everything on the test that you need to pass the test. You need to know how to do what they're giving to come up with those
Lady
answers.
J, you said real quick.
I just want to be careful that night. As we go into testing,
You better come back on here,
testing, just encourage your children. Convince them that they have it. alleviate some of the anxiety.
Is that your final statement?
I could go on and
No,
on. But
yeah,
I wanna
no,
tell
you're
you
not.
that easy.
No, you're not.
I just want to tell you.
I'm old.
I just want to say that it's that easy. That's all I want to say. It's that easy.
So that's your final statement?
Yep, it's that easy.
All right, Brother Shaka, go on, give him a final statement so we get up out of here. Brother Hatim got to go to sleep.
All right. Well, first and foremost, before I forget, please, before you lay your head to the pillow tonight, I would like for you to check out at least one of the tracks off of the Beat of the Symbiotic Cypher album. You can find it on YouTube. All you have to do is type in Baba Shaka with 2 Ks and the word Cypher, Cypher, and all 13 tracks of the album comes up. My favorite right now tonight is That's How We Roll and Under the Sun. So definitely check those out. And also, you can call into your local radio station and request it on the wave if you'd like to. And that way, we got somebody in the tribe that's being heard by, everybody in your region. So,
hey, why don't you? Yeah. Why you haven't posted that on Gye-Nyame Journey, man? Excuse me. Why you haven't posted that on Gye-Nyame Journey?
You know what? You're right. Why? Because I suck at managing myself. That's why. I'm gonna be honest with it.
That's why.
I'm be honest with it. That's why it's not there yet.
I'm gonna tell you like you told my nephew. Either I'm gonna have to spank you, or you gonna have to go somewhere else. Cause that's that's a bullshit. All right, family. I want to thank y'all for joining us in the place where your hustle build muscle. This is the Congregation of Mighty. We are also known as Gye-Nyame Journey Media. This is a Heart of a Simba production. What's wrong with your voice, girl? This is a Heart of a Simba production. And we have done another tribal quote. This time we kind of focused in focused in on parenting. Somebody needed that out there. Where we strive to blow up your old paradigms. I will see y'all in the morning for the daily show. Peace.
Big.